Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got a whole lot of stories on the show this morning, and the Super Eagles, a good outing in Kigali against the Wasps, the Amavubis as they are called, of Rwanda. I have in the on the show this morning a regular suspect, a usual suspect, Shiano Wilfred. Welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV.
Thank you, Mr. Fash, and a beautiful morning to you.
Okay, before we go to Rwanda, let's start from Pretoria, South Africa, precisely where it is the very first time we have two of our teams, our junior teams, the D Tigers and the Junior D Tigers and the Junior D Tigers, through to the Afro Basket Under 18 tournament right there in Pretoria, South Africa, for the male team. After losing their first game to Egypt, they won two of the games against Angola, and then their second game yesterday against Uganda. It ended 72-61 in favor of Nigeria to stay through to the quarterfinals. And also D Tigers, Junior D Tigers are through to the quarterfinals of the Afro Basket Under 18 tournament. They qualified as the third best team, that's for the female team, but the male team, they were second in their group behind Egypt. And for the D Tigers, they will be playing Egypt, but for the D Tigers, the Junior D Tigers, as of the time of this particular report, the draws have not been made.
It is quite a very wonderful one for the Basketball Federation and to the players. I said it the other day here with you. If there's one aspect that of sports that Nigeria has really improved and has grown in the recent times, should be the basketball. Considering our recent outing in the Olympics game in in Paris, France, and now the Junior D Tigers and the Junior D Tigers, they are really doing well. Unfortunately, sometimes the results don't always go the way we expect, but I mean they have a very positive point to capitalize and build their energies on. I think we should just rally around them and give them the maximum support they require to skate through.
Okay, the maximum support they require to skate through. They are in the quarterfinals. The competition is also qualifiers for the FIBA basket tournament for under 19 that will happen in Switzerland. For the two teams, the first time we'll be having 2 of our teams going to the quarterfinals of this particular tournament, that is junior tournament. As you can see on the screen, that game between Egypt and Nigeria, that game, that's for the Junior D Tigers. But for the Junior D Tigers, the draws has not been conducted, and we are expecting they are going to get maybe an easy team to skate through to the semi-final of the Under 18 Afro Basket tournament going on in Pretoria, South Africa. Despite despite the visa issue, South Africa embassy here in Nigeria denied this team visa, though there were issues surrounding the visa issue. We are looking into it, but what we heard from the federation was that the embassy denied us visas for this team, and they arrived on the competition venue the day they had a game against Egypt. That's for the Junior D Tigers. Now they arrived late. Both teams arrived late in South Africa. Despite that, look at where they are at the stage of the competition.
The visa denial came to all of us, as a shock. But then it could be an administrative strategy to hinder us from our, initial, objective of going there or out to bring something home. But then the good thing is the best motivation anyone can have is the motivation, how much you motivate yourself. I mean, these things happen in sports, and in every aspect of human life. But then, how do you pick up your pieces and build up, and to stand again? So for me, I think the both teams have actually put behind, whatever the obstacles were, whatever the hindrances, must have appeared to be, and then they're looking forward to, doing something new, which is the result that we've seen. The recent outings. Okay,
on the recent outing, they actually put that visa issue behind them, and they are progressing in the tournament. We wish the Junior D Tigers very well when they take on the Egyptians. Egypt and Nigeria has won this particular age group tournament 6 good times. So Egypt and Nigeria are sharing multiple wins of this particular age group tournament. All right, let's come back to Nigeria, and we'll go straight to Calabar. That is at the UJ Swene Stadium, where the NWF promotional playoff took place, and two teams qualified for the elite division, that is the NWF League, that is Nigerian Women's Football League, Akwa Ibom Angels, and then Honey Biders of Benue State. And now Akwa Ibom State Governor, that is at least gifted this team 20 million naira for picking one of the promotional tickets.
A very good one for the women's football, because this is the team that comprises of young lads, young girls who apparently should have been doing some illicit businesses, but then here is football for them to have a very good sought for a very good way out to pursue their dreams. So the reward of 20 million naira for me is actually something that we should have a concern of, because it's not about rewarding, giving a cash reward to the team, but will the money be disbursed, or will the money be properly appropriated? This is one thing we should ask, because in most cases we see where funds like this are rewarded to teams, and then in the end the participants who are ideally supposed to be the beneficiaries end up not having anything. And these girls, they have families, they have something to have responsibility to cater for. So we must also ensure that not just the money coming out to them as a reward, but also we should be able to do a thorough follow-up to ensure that they also benefit from this this cash reward.
Okay, they should also benefit from this cash reward. But let's stay with the women's league. How do you rate our women's league?
Quality-wise, yeah, we're almost there, but facility-wise, we're still far behind.
Still struggling.
We're still struggling, and it's something that the federation should come in to rescue the league, because I mean, if we don't have, because this is at the preparatory stage where the national team builds a stronger team. Yeah, so if you don't have good league, if you don't have good facilities, it prevents the growth. In different aspects. It could be that if these girls are not even used to good facilities, how do they even play their trade and even go to overseas to play for professional teams abroad? Because when they are rating them, they rate them like kids who don't actually have ideas of how the game is played, because they are playing on training and playing on poor facilities. So for me, I think the federation should come in at this stage and ensure that they equally have a good facility to train on.
Okay, they equally have a good facilities to train on. We're still talking about the women's football. The women has actually, we are just looking at football. We can maybe digress to other sports. But if you look at our national teams for the women, they've done well, senior category. And then in sports generally, women has been putting the names of Nigeria in the past years on the global map. What's up with the guys?
What's up with the guys? There've been a lot of focus on concentration on the guys, on the male team, and then in a little way, kind of, the female team, has been neglected in the recent time. Yeah, so they need that attention. They need that maximum support. They need that belief. They need that welfare support. You understand? We need to enhance them. We need to ensure that they have equal, rights. They have equal benefits as that of their male counterparts, because it's difficult. It's difficult that you go out there to play, put the name of the country on a global map, and then in the end you have nothing to take home. It's not something encouraging. So I think we must also rechannel or divert the whole attention we have for the male team. We should be able to share it equally, that they will also benefit what the male team benefit.
Okay, what the male team benefit? We're still looking at the women's football in Nigeria. For the league this season, we have 2 new teams joining. What are your expectations as we are heading into the new season for the Nigerian Women's Football League?
The Honey Badgers are newcomers, and I think
Ibom Angels.
Ibom Angels. But Ibom Angels were once there, so they are not newcomers. So for them, it's not going to be an unfamiliar terrain for them. Just that they should ensure they don't go back to where they are coming from. Yeah. But for Honey Badgers, I know the team. I know how much effort the administrative settings of the team has actually put in place to make sure they see the team promote to the main league. And I think they also know the importance of playing in the first Premier League, so they wouldn't want to go back. But notwithstanding, I always emphasize on this. These girls need a good support. When I say good support, it's not just coming out to support them, but also they need good welfare packages. They need good things, packages to take home, to give them that extra morale to keep pushing harder. So it's a good one for them. But I mean, I hope their coming will not just be just for show off, but they're here to stay.
Okay, they are here to stay for Honey Badgers. They are the owner of Nigerianews, Abuja Nigerianews. Is also the owner of that team based in Benue State. And we wish the two teams who have joined other teams that are there already in the Nigerian Football League very well. And our Women's Football League actually need attention because the women have been doing very well. We saw what Edo Queens did at the Wafubi CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers, not losing a game and coming back with a trophy. They were gifted 100 million naira by Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, and now 20 million naira for Ibom Angels, getting the promotional ticket to play in the elite division. Now let's go straight to Colombia. Yes, it is our under-20 women's team. Yes, 2 wins in the group, 1 loss to one team that has always been a pain on the neck of the Nigerian women, that is the German machine. But they were able to beat Venezuela 4-0 at the end in their last Group D game. Now, Coach Christopher Danjuma is actually upbeat ahead of Japan class. That is the round of 16 in the women's under-20 World Cup. We will be facing another Asian team, super powerhouse when it comes to women's football.
This is football. Anything can happen. The promotion, the win, should be a morale boosting win for them. They should not be relaxed. They should not become complacent. They should work, in synergy. They should work hard and ensure that they get the result, the desired result against the Japanese side. So I think. The win is not a fluke for them, and they should just capitalize on what happened and then ensure that they give the Japanese a run for their money.
Okay, now Japan, we played Korea in our group. We will be bringing you the video, that game against Venezuela. Those goals, we'll be looking at the highlights of those goals. If we have that video, we'll bring it up to speed. Now, we played against Korea in the group, and I think this, from my own perspective, it should give us a first hand of playing Japan on Friday.
Yes, of course, because the Japanese and the Koreans, they share almost the same culture in terms of play and everything. So, playing against the Korean, in the early stage of the competition and coming to meet, the Japanese at the later stage of the competitions, our previous experience with the Koreans should actually be a good preparation for us to, face the Japanese and, come out better. Okay,
Coach Christopher Danjuma, how well do you think he can go in this tournament? Personally, on Coach Christopher Danjuma, who has been with these girls?
If I want to go by his speech and confidence, of course he can go, all the way to the finals. But then this is not just about him. He doesn't come on the pitch of play to play. He's just there to give, the girls, the necessary, technical support they need, and also to psych them up to give their best. To take the name of the whole nation, 200 million Nigerians who are supporting them, to ensure that they don't have they don't get disappointed at the end of the day. So all that is required at this point is not about just Coach Christopher Danjuma. No, it's about everyone coming together to put in their best. So the girls, I know that at this stage their morale are quite high. They are quite motivated. They know how much the victory, how much that outing means to their respective CV. We're expecting them to give.
Okay, we should be expecting a very good game. Let's quickly just bring up to speed those goals against Venezuela in their last Group D game. Super Falconets, I'll call them Super Falconets, against their Venezuelan counterpart, and we're going to see the highlights of those beautiful goals from Joy Igbokwe, and not Joy Igbokwe, and we have Okuchukwu and co getting those goals, and Sebastian getting one of those goals for us in a 4-goal thrashing of Venezuela.
It's day 8 of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Colombia. Venezuela and Nigeria head-to-head in the hope of reaching the last 16. Wait for it.
Those were the fantastic goals from the Super Falconets. I'll call them Super Falconets against Venezuela. You saw those goals, and wow, these guys actually know what they're doing. They lost to Germany because they lost focus a little bit against the German machine.
It's football. There's always an excuse, but then they lost to Germany, and now they've won the Venezuelans, and I think they should have something to really be proud of themselves for, but yet not to become complacent, because there's much more task ahead, and then they must also understand that the Japanese are quite a hard nut to crack.
Okay, hard not to crack. That game will be coming up on Friday. These games are played late in the night and early hours of the morning. So let's see how that game goes. Definitely we'll be bringing you the details of that game against Japan on our sports show, and then the time when that game would come up. All right, let's come back to the continent of Africa and go to Rwanda. Amavubis and the Super Eagles. The Eagles couldn't pick the Amavubis. When we say Amavubis, it means Wasps. The Wasps of Rwanda battled Super Eagles to a Barren draw in Kigali. New stadium. It was a new stadium, and we are still definitely looking at what it is. We will still get to this particular story, that is this Austin Ugwevon story, but let's start with that game they played against the Amavubis of Rwanda right there in Kigali yesterday afternoon.
To some sport-loving Nigerians, it may have been a kind of a disappointing result, but then for the team that is undergoing some transitional, processes, I think it was a good game for them, at least to have maintained, the result, to ensure that, instead of them coming home with a defeat, they maintained a certain, stalemate. I think it was a very good one, and the team played quite beautiful, unlike the previous outings. So I think there's something we should be able to say, yes, this is where the team is. This is a certain kind of football that our team is now playing. So for me, it was a very good one for the teams and for everyone who really love the team.
Okay, looking at what Rwanda played against the Super Eagles, do you think they were equal to the task yesterday, or maybe the Super Eagles, I don't know, didn't really do much to get the goals?
Well, I won't say they were not equal. They were equal. The thing is, the team played. You could see there were some little changes, especially from the formation. Where we were on a 3-4-3 formation, where we had the likes of Dele Bashiru and Wilfred Ndidi. But the previous game we had Wilfred Ndidi and Alex Iwobi. So it was a little kind of a strange pattern that Dele Bashiru, because he hasn't really played with Ndidi, for a while, and in that kind of formation. So we were trying to see how we can try something new, and thank God we did it against a team that was a little lesser than in terms of strength than a stronger opponent like maybe South Africa or Ghana or some of these big names in African football. So we did it against the Rwandans, and we were able to see how the midfield was able to gel amongst themselves. And I think they have good things to work on. They know where the team's strength lies and where it's lacking. So I think in our next game we were able to have a more formidable lineup and outing.
Okay, more formidable lineup and outing. The Wasps battle Super Eagles to a barren draw in Kigali. That is the story. All right, we are still looking at that particular game, but we will switch a little bit. You saw that story on the screen, and we're going straight to that place before Shiando will react. But the thing is, I am still in charge of Super Eagles. That is Ugwevon debunks stepping aside news. Now, this team landed in the country yesterday, the departure and border view, and it was flying everywhere that Austin Ugwevon has stepped aside as interim coach of the Super Eagles. But first thing first, he's the technical director of the NFF. So he's saddled with the responsibility. When there is no coach, he steps in.
That's a tough one for me, because if you go by statistics, I think he's done well for the few times that he has stepped in for the team, and then with what he's done in these two matches, recent matches, I think he's got something to offer. And as I always say, it's not about having the best coach in the world. If you bring even the best coach in the world and the coach does not have the required support, or the players don't come out to give their heart to him, trust me, it's never going to go out. I mean, the outcome is never going to be positive. So the good thing now is the man has a very good understanding rapport with the team, and the boys understand him. He understands them, and I think there's a cordial working relationship. So if the federation feels that at this junction, Ugwevon is the man that is good for the job, considering the fact that he's been there, as a technical director, and also as he has handled the team in the past, and he understands the system. If they feel that at this point he's the man that is good for the job, let the job be given to him. All we just want to see, as I always emphasize, want to see beautiful game, want to see the understanding, want to see love, want to see these boys happy, want to see them bringing out their souls, their heart, and every single sweat in them, giving out for the color, of Nigeria. So if Ugwevon is the man, let it be so. Okay, before we'll still talk more on this story, let's quickly bring to you the voice of Austin Ugwevon, where he actually debunked the rumors that yes, he didn't actually say that he has stepped aside as the on interim capacity of the Super Eagles coaching job. Let's listen to Austin Ugwevon when he was asked if definitely that rumor, that news was true.
We just touched down at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The Eagles have arrived. And of course, arriving in Nigeria, we saw some mischievous headlines regarding the interview we granted earlier, speaking with the interim manager of the Super Eagles, Coach Austin Cerezo Ugwevon. But of course, we're here to correct the narratives as against what was put out there. Coach, I saw a very mischievous headlines that a story was obviously twisted. What can you say about this?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that people just trigger something that is not correct. In the situation we're in now, we don't need negative stories. I only talked about I'm going to sit down with the hierarchy of the federation after these two games, and then we'll see how we'll go about the prosecuting the next games. But when I saw that story, I was kind of really worried. I'm concerned. Whatever people are reading out there is not correct. I'm still very much in charge. I'm the technical director of the Nigerian Football Federation, saddled with the responsibilities of taking the Super Eagles at this moment, and that's where we are.
Thank you very much, Coach.
My pleasure.
Now, we heard it all from Coach Austin Ugwevon. It baffles me when that news broke out and it was flying. And thank God we've heard it from, let me use the normal parlance, the horse's mouth, debunking that rumors that something of that nature didn't happen. In his capacity as the technical director of the NFF, if there's no coach, who steps in?
Of course. Yes, you see, I'm glad that it's coming from the horse's mouth, as you rightly said. You see, the thing is, Egwavon is not a king, he's a king's maker. So if he decides to be a king, the palace is all his. So, but the most important thing is, to ensure that the team plays good game and we have positive results, because we cannot continue toiling around, repeating every now and then same thing that has happened in the past. So let's just move forward. I mean, as I say, if Egwavon is the right man for the job, let the job be given to him. Let's move on. Let this boy's mind be settled. Because you can't come to the national team today, you play under this coach. The next time you're coming, you're playing another. I mean, these coaches, they have different philosophies, have their respective philosophies, and you can't. It's difficult for you're coming from your club side that you are used to a particular day. The space of a few days, and you come and then you're seeing something entirely different. It's difficult, and psychologically, it could actually get a little bit pressing. So if Egwavon is the right man, let's support him. Let's rally around him. Let the job be given to him, and let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. But from your assessment with these two games, from your assessment, I've heard you. If he's the man, but are you satisfied with what you saw with the Super Eagles?
I won't say I'm was completely satisfied with their performances, but at least we could see that the team was able to keep more position, unlike how we used to struggle to keep balls. So I think he's trying to bring something new. It's trying to bring something unique. You could see the likes of Victor Boniface. There's something I always emphasize on him, because the kind of striker that likes playing with the ball. He doesn't just want to run into the box and get the ball slot into the game. He doesn't come into the pitch of play with an objective of scoring goals for the team. No, he's not that selfish. He comes in to play with the team, to play for the team, to play the game, to help his team. So if the goal comes, it comes, fine. If it doesn't, but he comes into play. He's the kind of striker that likes playing with ball. So, and you can see the team has been able to maintain that, to play that around him. They've been trying to build the team into setting the kind of style of play, which we definitely favor. Him, Victor Boniface, also favor Osimhen, because Osimhen is also a different kind of striker. So, and you could see how what the coach does now. When he plays Victor Boniface, then he brings in Osimhen. So that shows that there's a lot of improvement. Technically, there's a lot of improvement, and the boys are also beginning to understand that this is what the team has been lacking, and we're willing to bring it in now and feed the eyes of the fans with a beautiful game and then get the positive result. So for me, I won't say I'm completely satisfied, but at least there's a relief of a deep breath, and we must give him his flowers. Okay, we are going to do something right now, back to back. We will listen to Austin Ogwevon, and after that post-match conference, we will do a little bit of a talking point. A goal that was disallowed, Demola Lukman's goal that was disallowed by the central referee. We'll be looking at that goal. But before the goal, let's listen to Austin Ogwevon in his post-match conference after that game.
Attack you most of the time, and you thought it would be good. Ability of tinkling the team and try to get the team qualified for the next AFCON. And then all our boys are playing abroad, in the big leagues. So it's difficult. They have only 3 days before the first game, or 4 days before we play Benin, and then right after Benin we come in here. It's a little bit difficult to change formation. If I stay on the job long enough, we can also change formations in friendly games. This is what we're used to right now. He executed it very well during the last AFCON. We're almost African champions. So just to change it inside tournament is difficult.
So how is Chukwueze? How is Samuel Chukwueze?
It's very good. He's one of our good players. And then today you came up with a strategy. You got a yellow card. It was tormenting you guys. But we don't want to. We had 3 players on yellow card, so it's kind of a risk also. So we'll have to make some substitution, and we have players who can go forward also. So we thought, okay, Chukwueze will rest, not because he's not playing well, because of the risk of getting a second yellow card.
Let's take 2 or 3 questions from our visitors.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, Coach. My name is Pius Idoko from Nigeria. In the heat of the game, when it all seemed like the Super Eagles were very optimistic they could get a goal, something happened. The goalkeeper, at some point, seemed to break down the tempo of the game, and you could see the players were frustrated at some points, even speaking to the goalkeeper. Was that a game plan? Or
no.
do you think?
I don't encourage such.
ubona ko yagize mu mwiherero w'ikipe y'igihugu atinze
Olo aina umupira muremure ari atasiyo Kali Musabli yari yaramaze guha mw'ifirimbi avuga ko haba ikosa bakore kuri Manzi Thierry Chibebe umusifuzi w'umunyamaroc ubona ko yariye karoti nyinshi ndetse.
Okay, yes. You heard Austin Ogwevon after that game. Quickly react to one or two he said, and then we'll go straight to that goal because that's going to be a very big talking point. I'm still asking, and I've been asking since yesterday afternoon, what went wrong that goal was disallowed. But react to Austin Ogwevon before we go to that goal.
For Coach Austin Ogwevon's speech, I think he's beginning to speak like that man that Nigerians, want to see. He's like that teacher who doesn't just teach in the classroom but also solves, when the problem becomes unsolvable by the students. So I love the way he speaks. I love the confidence in him. I love the philosophy he's trying to bring in. I love the technical, input he has been able to, input into the guys to understudy the games, to understand that it's difficult also taking risk, trying to, try new players, experiment new players in an important, games like this. If it were in the friendly games, it won't be an issue, but then this is an important, game. These games are important games, so there's a setting where he must maintain a setting kind of, formation, that, the players have been used to in the past. So I think he's for me, I'm so confident about his speech, his philosophy, his knowledge, his understanding, and I think he has also learned from what happens to the other coaches in the past. So for me,
okay.
It's a massive
okay, now that goal, I'm not a referee. You're not a referee, but you are conversant with football. You are a grassroots football expert. And you come up every day, you come in contact with referees, you see where they officiate games, and at some point you also officiate games, maybe in the friendly games, far side, what have you, whenever in the training ground. Now, what we are made to understand, there's no offside when it's a throwing. And that goal is from a throwing position after Olaino, and it was met by a very good one from Ademola Lookman. And at the end of the day, the referee cancelled it, and it's amazing.
Yes, I wish I could have a replay of the game because I think.
Okay, we'll bring back that video.
Yeah, because I think there was a contact, before the ball from a Nigerian player before the ball got to Ola. I want to see that again. Oh yeah, that was offside. That was offside. Yeah. The man that lost it to
that is Shemi Ajayi.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not emotional because I remember if the throwing had actually gone straight from the person who threw the ball to Ademola Lookman, trust me, it would have been a goal. But somebody, Shemi Ajayi was offside in offside position. That touched the ball, so that was an offside. But Shemi Ajayi was claiming that he didn't actually get to that ball. It was the Amavubis player, that defender, the ball touched before last. He actually contested for the ball, that is Shemi Ajayi, but didn't get it. It was the Amavubi defenders that got the ball, and Ademola Lookman was able to knock that ball back in. So, like I said from the beginning, I'm not a referee. I don't know, but what we're made to understand where we were playing football growing up is that any ball from the throwing, I'm just speaking from, let me say, a layman's position.
Also because I'm not a referee by profession anyway. But then, with what I've seen, with what I've watched, sorry,
Okay, all right. That goal was disallowed by the central referee when we thought that goal was in the 21st minute of that game. We thought, yes, Nigeria has taken the lead, but to the greatest surprise of the players and the coaching crew, it was disallowed for an offside. The referee knows best. I am not a referee. And Shiando here is not the referee, but he is involved with football. At the end of the day, it ended on a goalless draw. But let's quickly look at the results of games that were played yesterday. We have in Group B, Gabon beat Central African Republic 2-0. In Group C, Botswana were thrashed at home by Egypt 4-0. Cabo Verde bounced back from their match day 1 loss to Egypt by beating Mauritania 2-0. And then we have in Group D, Rwanda and Nigeria playing a goalless draw, and Benin bouncing back to winning ways after that 3-0 trash in the hands of Super Eagles. They beat Libya 2-1 at home. They are second in the group behind Nigeria, who is on 4 points. Liberia in Group E were lost at home in Morocco to Algeria 3-0, and then in Group G we have Chad also lost at home to Ivory Coast 2-0, and Zambia beat Sierra Leone 3-2. Let's go to the flip side of it quickly and see the other result. Guinea won, Tanzania 2, surprisingly for Tanzania, beating Guinea at home. And then beating Guinea away, I beg your pardon. In Group I, we have Eswatini lost to Mali. Mali actually struggled in that game, though they got all 3 points, 1-0 against Eswatini. And Mozambique beat Guinea-Bissau 2-1. The two Guinea losing their game right there for Mali. They defeated Mozambique in the match they won, so they are on 6 points in that group. And then we have Mozambique 2-1 against Guinea-Bissau. And then in Group J, Namibia losing their second game against to Kenya 2-1. It ended Zimbabwe and Cameroon played a goalless draw, just like the Super Eagles. And then in Group K, we have South Sudan 2, South Africa 3, and then Burkina Faso trashed Malawi. That is in Group L. 3-1. These were the games. Quickly, anything to say about the results?
The result, the outcome of the result is a clear illustration of what the modern football is. Anything can happen. So you get what you put in. So that is that.
Okay, you get what you actually you just give what you have, and that is what it is for African football. We love the improvement. We love how fast it's developing, and one day, just one day, an African team will win the World Cup. Morocco came close, but they didn't do it. And in fact, I'm optimistic that Super Eagles will be the first African country to win the World Cup. Take that to the bank and ask me when that happens. All right, let's go straight to Europe. There were UEFA Nations League games that were played yesterday night also. We'll look at those results in Group 1. The UEFA Nations League is played in phases, and then in Group Albania lost at home to Georgia 1-0. Georgia continued to do well on the international stage. Czech Republic beat Ukraine. They bounced back from that 4-1 beating in the hands of Georgia to beat Ukraine 3-2. Ukraine is losing their second game after they lost to Albania in match they won. And then in Group 2, we have Andorra lost to Malta 1-0. England beat Finland, and one man also cannot stop scoring and creating record 100 cap for England, and also golden boot for him. That is Harry Kane in that game against Finland 2-0 ended. And then Republic of Ireland lost to Greece. This game was so a painful one for Republic of Ireland after playing so well in front of their home fans. And then in Group 3, we have Hungary and Bosnia-Herzegovina playing a goalless draw. Netherlands 2, Germany 2. That was a cracker. We'll look at that game quickly before we go on the show. Latvia beat Faroe Island 1-0. North Macedonia 2 against Armenia. That is in Group 4. Let's go to the flip side of it quickly and look at other results. Okay, let's look at Germany, Netherlands. Strong game, 2-2. One player was stretched out of that game. That is Man City's defender Nathan Ake.
They are two tough European, side. Germany, strong team, strong side. Netherlands, strong team, strong side, and they understand each other. And I think they were all prepared for each other. If you look at the pedigree of players that they all, showcased, they all paraded, you understand that it was difficult for anyone to come in with a, major breakthrough. So the game ending in that stalemate, I think it was as a result of an outcome of, the hard work that the both teams put in, and the resilience that, will not go grief for anybody. So I think it was actually a very good one for the both teams.
Okay, that was a very good one for both teams. Germany and Netherlands 2-2. That game ended right. The Orange Boys against the German Machine. We'll still just pick one of these results that we're going to be looking at. Yes, Republic of Ireland result. I watched that game definitely. And the Republic of Ireland, if you look at the ball possession, sometimes they say possession don't win games for you, and sometimes possession do win games. But they had all of the possession, and before, boom, Greece got those 2 goals, and it was like, let me say, miracle.
Yes, because if you look at the Greek league and the Republic of Ireland, league, you can understand that they must be different when the 2 teams come against each other, because the Republic of Ireland has most of their players are playing in other leagues, while the Greek players, like 80 to 90% of the players play in a domestic league, and they have more understanding. So not having a ball position as that of the Republic of Ireland wasn't a yardstick for them. It could be a strategy, waiting for the right time to strike, and when the time came, I think they did what they were supposed, and they did the most needed thing that they were all hoping and waiting for. So the result for me, it was as a result of what they put in, what they play, and their strategy worked out perfectly well for them, and they got the 3 points. Okay, their strategy actually worked out perfectly for them, and all 3 points are into the bag for Greece against Republic of Ireland. All right, we'll be looking at some transfers, stories on the show before we go. We'll start with his Manchester United winger, that is Anthony, keen to stay at club amid interest from Fenerbahce. This man, ever since he came to Manchester United, he has not really hit the ground running. In his 4th season, he played 25 games. Listen, 4 goals and 2 assists. 4th season, that was 2022-23 season. The following season, that was last season, he played 29 games, 1 goal and 1 assist. And then this season has started, just 1 game, and he is ready to stay at Old Trafford. Yes, considering the manner which he came in, the hyping and the market, the transfer, wages that was put in place for him to come and sign for the, Manchester United, he hasn't done enough to justify his buy. So I think if he is saying that he wants to stay behind and prove a point to the fans, I think it's a good one, because for me, we all watch him in Ajax. He's never a bad player. He's a great, talent, a wonderful, young man, a wonderful lad. But then, unfortunately, he came into Manchester United, where the entire team is actually, measured off its glorious self. So I don't think Manchester United fans will come for you. They should forgive me, but I mean, the reality that is what it is. The reality must be, be told. Okay, for Anthony, let's see how he's going to rescue back his career in Manchester United. He said, no, I go nowhere. I want to stay and play under this manager. I've been playing with him for years, and I want to continue doing that under Erik ten Hag, who's also not reliable in Manchester United. We are still looking at Manchester United on the transfers this morning. We'll look at this one. Manchester United, Real Madrid monitors Sevilla right back João Sanchez. For Manchester United, they are looking to get it right in the market, in the transfer window. We know that the transfer window has shut down in England, and we will be looking at it as it stands now. We will be looking at it as it stands now for João Sanchez. Man U looking for a right back after letting Wan-Bissaka join West Ham. It's about what the coach wants for the team. Wan-Bissaka, very hardworking, very strong, and powerful defender that can play anywhere in the back four. But unfortunately, maybe he wasn't what ten Hag wanted for the team. So going for another right back, I think they know what the team is lacking at this particular time, and then they should go for it. They feel that's what will help stabilize their back, because they've been conceding a lot of unexplainable goals. So if they want to go for a good right back, I mean, that's a good one for them. Okay, let's look at this one. Tenants are about to leave the landlord's house. Stamford Bridge, definitely, as it stands right now, to leave, that is Chelsea to leave Stamford Bridge, also build new stadium at Earls Court. Now, I think Fulham owns this stadium, and now Chelsea is doing all they can. They want to leave Stamford Bridge and go to Earls Court, that is in Nigeria, they will say permanent site, trying to build their own stadium. For Chelsea, they've been tenants for years, decades, and probably, okay, let me not say centuries. moving to their to another stadium is going to be to serve as a spiritual cleansing for the team, and the management then they should go on and do that, because the Chelsea we used to know is no more the Chelsea we have now. So I think a lot of things, people might be considering that, okay, for the fact that the manner which the previous owner left, the team, and how things are being handled, issues are being handled administratively in the team, is not right. But then also their tenants, so I think it's high time they should have their own place, and then be more relaxed, and then see how they can reopen a new chapter in their team.
Okay, for Chelsea, if they build a new stadium, do you think it's going to change anything?
Let's see how it goes, because I mean, the recent Chelsea we see now is something never to be proud of. But who knows? Maybe a new stadium may bring them a new look.
Okay, new stadium might just bring them a new look. We are out of time as we speak on the show. Shando, on the flip, we'll be looking at some other stories on the flip. But one man came to England quickly before we go out of the studio. That is second missionary journey for Victor Moses. Quickly.
To Luton Town, that's a very great one. I mean, he's now at home. I mean, he was far away from a war-ravaged, Russia. It was difficult for some Nigerians to reach out to him to know how he's faring and everything. So now he's back home, and I think he's more relaxed. He's already at the retirement age, considering his age, at 33. I mean, it's quite an age, and he has been playing, the top flight football for over a decade. So I think it's high time he just comes back home and then relax. All
right, that is it on the program. 360 Sports come to your screen from Trust TV. Well, thanks, Chando, for joining on the show. It's a good one having you. Talked about the Super Eagles. Fantastic.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Fash.
Okay, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. Say thanks for watching.